Greetings everybody and welcome back to Rebuilding the Commonwealth with myself. As you can see, we're at Jamaica Plain here in its dark, glory as it were. I had a look at the old sub count this morning and you guys are still crushing it. Thank you very much for tuning in. The support does mean everything, so I do appreciate all of that. As normal, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff really helps me out. I won't bore you with the rest because every YouTuber says that. You'll notice here at Jamaica Plain I'm up in the Mayor's office where we actually have a Major now. So this is the Major for one of the southern parts of the settlements. This is Major Ernesto Grant. His office is still being furnished. I managed to put the floor safe and mount it on the wall, so that looks kind of cool. So he's up here now. He will be, a point of contact for quite a lot of the Minutemen in the Southern Territories. And up here on the roof, I have fully kitted out our soldiers. So say hello to Specialist First Class Freya Mack, to Specialist Second Class William Irons, to Specialist First Class Todd Wade, to Private Jared MacDonald, and Corporal Maxine Carswell, and the Lieutenant Charles Brogan. So this is our artillery crew. So these guys are all named, fully kitted out. They all have the appropriate guns. They have their UMP folded in stocks and their anti-material rifles, so that's all good. But that isn't what we're focusing on today. I just thought I'd show you that because it is kind of cool. I tried to put this down as a template just to see whether it would fit, and it kind of does, but I don't know what I want to do with it yet. But we're going over to the diner now. Bear with me just 1 second. Right, so I have a commenter who quite rightly commented on the last video. That is, thanks to yourself, Noah Yelverton. I do apologise if I butchered that, but thank you for pointing out, Noah, that the checker pattern on the floor was completely off in places. I really should have spotted that, considering how detail-oriented I like to be, but I didn't. So, thank you for pointing that out. Because I couldn't seem to fix that, and the fact that the shape of the diner was really done anyway, I just swapped it out for the old Drumlin Diner. So, say hello to the Drumlin Diner. I think I still don't quite have enough seats yet, but the settlers really seem to dig this place. So, yeah. Minutemen eating with the settlers. The market sellers are in here. I still need to kit it out with food supplies, but I haven't quite got those yet. Well, I do, but I haven't gone to Sanctuary to get them yet. Ooh, I'm being pushed around now. But yeah, this is the Drumlin Diner. It still needs some decoration to be done, but we have our lovely Vault-Tec rep who is, well, repping the Drumlin Diner. So, a special thanks to him, I guess. But that's not what we're doing either. I just thought I'd point that out. What I'm actually going to be doing is an extension of the urban gardens. Oh, an unfortunate radar. Oh, I was hoping he would explode, but obviously not. Right. Yeah, as you can see, I'm using this really nice FAL, which is the legendary, I think it's the Free World, which I picked up I think in one of the earlier episodes I ever did. But we're going to be extending the urban gardens here. Now, the urban gardens won't be spreading down here. Oh, no, not at all. But they will be spreading along these side streets, because these side streets look disgusting. I mean, so does this, really, but this is like an arterial, so we're okay with that. The urban gardens here are all pedestrianised, so that's what we're going to do here. Now, how are we going to do it, you might wonder? Well, we're going to use the ones that we already have as a template. so that the number of units in between is absolutely perfect. Now this is a straight run all the way to the end. So that is what we're going to do for now, and just see what that looks like. Okay, so we already have the problem that the terrain slopes. Yeah, the terrain slopes down. So I mean, this road here is fine up to about here. After that, it needs to be lowered. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, problem is, if we lower it in a staircase like that, it's just going to look really dumb. I mean, look at that. It looks more like a ladder. That's actually kind of trippy if you keep looking at that. So I have a feeling we're not going to be able to continue the template. We're going to have to do this a different way to try and compensate for the slopes. Or maybe we might not even be able to do an urban garden on this side, which should be fine. Just means we'll have to mess around with it a bit more. Yeah, that's cool. Right, so how do we do this? Well, let's set up the gardens as they should be, or the way we want them to be. So I want the gardens to start just here. There's me saying, oh, we can't fit an urban garden here, we can't do that. And then here I am, going to do it. So, yeah, you can't really tell me no, that's the thing. If I want to do it, I'm doing it. So, and we'll keep this as low down as possible to start with, because this is going to be the template for all the houses down here. This is where we're going to fit all of the accommodation to. Now I'm thinking there's a bit too much space on this side, so what we're going to do is make way for the plant pots down the middle. Am I using the correct grass here? Yeah, I am. Okay. No, that is not the piece I want. That's the piece that I want. Actually, we need a T-junction here. Like so. And we need a T-junction here. Like so. That's how we get onto the garden. Excellent. So, now we can go the straight pieces. I'm not keen on that, but we have to make sacrifices somewhere. In fact, we'll probably be able to delete this road entirely when we're done with it. Okay, I'm really not keen on that at all. Needs to be straightened up. Yeah, so if this continues, it will go down to there. And if this continues, that's still wonky. That is still ever so slightly wonky. Actually, why don't I just snap it right there? Okay. And now we know it's perfectly straight. That's how we do it. So I'll just bring this up a couple of units so it's not stuck in the pavement here. Raise all of these alongside it. That's lovely. Okay, now there should be enough space here for the planters. Let me just double check that. It's not under footpath. It's not under retaining wall, is it? Yes, it is. Yeah, so the planter now fits. Is what we want. Okay. Back to parks and paths. And sidewalks, of course. Right, now this is where it slopes. Okay, how are we going to tackle this? By fighting with the snapping system, I think. Right, I think I can get away with it using curbs. So what we're going to do is lower this down by 5 units. And then we're going to put 2 pieces. The third piece we'll then lower down by 10 units. 20? You know, 20 units will do there. Okay, so we can afford to put another piece here. This one needs to be... Actually, why is that lower? That's because it's snapped to the wrong place, duh. Okay. That needs to be lowered by 5 units. Then there is another piece at the same height. Then another piece here, 20 units lower. And I think this needs to be lower still, so that emergency frequency is going to really annoy me after a while. Yeah, so we'll go 10 units lower here. 10. Right, now if we put it through, how does that look? I will put like little junctions and such. This is just to check the feel. Oh yeah, I put this down to test the size as well. Okay, I think this bit is a tad too low, but we will be redoing these sidewalks, so I'm not worried about it thus far. Yeah, these sidewalks will get moved, so... Why do I feel like this is higher than that? If it is higher or lower, it's by a very small amount. It's by an amount that I can quite easily live with. Okay, now this slope here is kind of annoying, but it's not something I can't deal with. The problem is the slope here is too small to justify a retaining wall and stairs, but it's too high for me to construct something on without silly large foundations. But that's a problem for another day. Okay, so the urban garden, I want to make a T-junction here. Actually, no, I want to put the T-junction here. Because these houses can then be refurbished and made better. Oh, we're going to have this issue again, aren't we? Time to pull out the catchphrase. I'll do it manually. That's it. Brilliant. So lower these down by 50. I want a small piece here. Then another T-junction? Or would I need an X-junction here? I think I probably need an X-junction, actually. No, we don't. I want another small one. That's like I have a bit of a bug in my throat. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Last thing I want to do is start having a coughing fit on recording. So, absolutely fucking not. Yeah, I mean that dips into the sidewalk, but we're going to be restructuring the sidewalks, if anything. So, not worried about that. I'll put in 2 frontal pieces. Again, sidewalk is not much of a concern at the moment. And I do actually want a 4-way junction here, like that. Then we'll put in small pieces to connect it to the other side of the junction here. And I'll put a 3-directional junction here, but likely that's going to be torn out and replaced with an X junction in due course. The reason I say that is because as we add houses, we're going to make the paths go up to the front doors, so it makes sense that they wouldn't be a permanent fixture. Okay, now we're going to put in the planters. These planters will also help in, breaking up that increase in gradient. There's a high chance I'm going to delete the road out of this because I don't think we're going to need it once we're in place. Plus, as well, the road sticks up through these through my nice fresh sidewalks, so that's not fun at all. Okay. Now, what can we get rid of here? The hell was that? Never mind. Don't know why I just did that. I don't know. Last time I picked that up, I don't remember it having such a cool animation. So, okay, so that goes in here. It looks so dumb with the road there. We will get rid of the road. There's no two ways about that. I mean, I could put the planter there, or I could place a water feature. I mean, we have these ponds. And there must be like a 3-edged one, right? I mean, that's literally just water and grass, so that would fit the theme. But there's not one with 3 edges, which is kind of a shame. Otherwise, I'd really consider putting this in. But alas, no. We'll just have to go with planters, which is okay. Planters can be cool as well. Excellent. Now, I do actually have to do something about this. I can't just leave it as is, so I'm going to try the retaining wall strategy here. Jamaica Plains terrain. I really shouldn't complain. This place has pretty decent terrain in terms of height differences and such. They're quite easy to deal with. There are some I'm really not looking forward to doing, like Abernathy Farm. I'm really not looking forward to Abernathy Farm. Let's use a full wall here. Of course, I'm going to have to battle the snapping again. Get rid of that street sign. It's redundant. Okay, 5. Okay, tuck that in there. We'll put a short one here. That's as far as I'm willing to go at the moment. Reason being, I don't know what space I'm working with after this house goes up. I don't actually know what I'm going to do with this house yet. It's been standing since probably the first or second episode after I moved into Jamaica Plains, and I really haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet, so I'm not willing to go any further with that retaining wall yet. Now here's the crunch. Do the steps fit nicely here? Are they going to cooperate with me? I'm doing things in the wrong order if I think about it. Alright, so let's put a triple junction here. We're going to have to fight with it. I mean, look how many potential places that will snap to. And then when it does snap to what I want, it's facing the wrong way. Well, we're just going to have to brute force you, my friend. Bit of brute force. There you go. Can't beat me forever, can you? Excellent. That is now a full size, so that will go in just fine. And this will go right to the edge. And I think I could not have got that height any better. That is so close to that retaining wall. I don't think I could have got that any better. So let's pull back this wall by just enough to bring it right to the edge of the path. That matches with the sidewalk almost picture perfect there. So I'm going to bring it up, 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 up a bit more. I'm going to tuck it over just a tad. And now we're going to bring it forwards into the wall to match it. Excellent. Now, if I were accessories. No, that's a standard railing. It's these that I want. How much of that would fit? Pretty much everything, really. But I'm not going to do that. It's a small staircase. We don't need to be that safety conscious. Jesus Christ. This can go even further, to be honest. We can get it properly matched up. Like that. Yeah. These pieces of retaining wall can come up just enough to cover that. That's fine. I mean, the lights here are not quite as bright as I recall them being before, but hey-ho. Swig of coffee. I'm actually having coffee this morning, not tea. Please don't tell the spiffing Brit. He's a great content creator, by the way. I like the fact he's all about his Yorkshire tea, and literally the only tea I drink is Yorkshire tea. So, but today there's an occasion I'm just not feeling a cup of tea. So, and now if we're spot on like this, then the stairs should match perfectly. Is that the same one? Yes, I believe it is. Okay, so the stairs will pull down into this debris a little bit, which I'm not a fan of. but it does need adjusting slightly this way. It needs to be pulled back a bit, and it needs to come up to meet the steps. Yeah. I mean, it looks a little bit daft like this, but we can tidy this up in some ways. One of which, I believe, is to put one of these lovely planters in the way, which I think we're going to do. This needs to be... That's the wrong type of grass, for starters. That's the one we want. Now this needs to be shrunk down, probably to about 70, and then it will fit. I mean, this is going to be a prestigious place to live. What I'll do is expand it by one more. Okay, the flowers fit pretty much perfectly in there. Now under the curbs, which is what I believe will allow us to get away with this, is you have these curbs that I used at the bottom of the settlement as well. If we put a couple of these down, like so, that creates a border between the two, so it looks like it's been incorporated and not that we've just thrown it together for a laugh. Which is pretty much the story of my life, but we won't go there. Right. So this is what I think will allow us to get away with this. Is we'll put a curb on each of the tier changes. Like that. I mean, it's arguably a bigger trip hazard, but that's a risk I'm willing to take for the sake of having a beautiful garden. Don't know why I keep doing that. I think it was a commenter called Doug who said that us British absolutely love our gardens. That is a common misconception. I mean, what happens is when you reach about the age of about 49, you like normal things that British people do, which is listening to classical music, you're watching the cricket, you're brushing your teeth, you're doing all the things that any self-respecting Brit would do. And then the moment your 50th birthday rolls round, you suddenly hate all those things, and then you have a massive urge to go gardening. You get voices in your head, and then when you start gardening, the voices quieten down. So that's how Britain's love of gardening came about. So only really if you turn 50 you need to garden, so it's fine. Otherwise, just drink tea. Pro Brit Tips 101. Without further ado, and on that tangent, let's take a risk here. I say that before I hit the quick save. Don't ever do that. We're going to delete the road. Okay. So far, so good. I mean, the road is basically the sidewalk now, so... Oh, I don't think I want to do that yet. No, we do. We do. This one over here, how far does this one go? That stretches all the way to here, so I'm not going to delete that. Plus, this road doesn't actually get in the way, so we're fine with that for now. Let's put in our planters, like so. Excellent. Yeah, I like that. That is a road that needs to go. Just making sure there's no pieces of straggler road in between. I mean, you can't even see that's been deleted from here, so that's the idea. Excellent. Now we can work on the vegetation and the sidewalks. Now this house bothers me. Well, one, it's wonky and it needs to be rebuilt. I wish I had those in the snap and build section. I love those curved ones. And I mean, the border goes all the way out to here, so there's a lot we could do with this. Right. Excuse me. Swig of coffee. So these fence posts will have to be deleted manually. There's a lot of trash under here, so let's get rid of that. See, the thing that bothers me is this is built once again on a slope, and it's pretty much integrated into the slope, a bit like the parochial house was. And that was a bit of a pain in the arse to fix. Plus, I don't know whether this is going to give me graphical glitches. I mean, the steps backing straight down onto the sidewalk is okay. This will be fine. What I might do is replace this house with two houses. I think there's enough space here to fit a second house in if we take the sunroom off. That house down there, I like it, but because it's on this diagonal piece of road, it's taken up a lot more real estate than it needs to. So what I can do is create a kind of avenue out of this. And we can move this and place two houses. Now before I do anything with that, let me just I'm going to take a couple of screenshots of this so that I kind of know how it's built. That's it. Because this house will have to come down and be rebuilt. Like that. Because I put that template there, as you can see, and it only just fits. Whereas if I rotate this building and attach it to the sidewalk, I could easily fit a house there, well, this house, another house here, and I could probably put a row of houses along here. And thus creating a lot more space. Like a ton more space for building. Right, this house frame I think doesn't have any purpose. Plus the houses are going to have to be redone anyway. So let's get rid of the house frame. Does that cause any graphical errors? Not really, we're fine. Any on that side? No, brilliant. The issue I have though is this is elevated, so we're going to have to put a foundation on a house here. So I reckon if this sidewalk comes forward, we can scrap this piece of sidewalk curb and scrap that. I think we would have to build a big house here. A house with the door here, a foundation that house here, which then stretches this way. Because then this path can give access to the rest of the avenue over here. So, how do we do this? I think I'm being dumb here, because I could just create another tiered living space. Like what we have over here. Okay, that's how we're going to do it. Let's get rid of that. It's safe to say these sidewalk curbs are not needed now because we have a plan of action. I seem to recall I've seen something like that before. It can't be under landscaping. Can't be that simple, can it? No, that's the sanctuary driveways. That is also sanctuary. No, it's not under footpath. Okay, no. That's fine. Thought I'd check. So we can't put a driveway in, but we can, of course, use steps. Now, this tiered living is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bricks. 6 brick layers are exposed here, which is good. It's not too high, but it can be done. So let's do that. Okay, so nearly the whole wall is exposed. A bit like that. That's okay, though. How much space are we working with? Oh. So we're working with 6 tiles. 6 tiles of space. Let's see if we can't build it in the correct order. So under landscaping, sidewalks, flat sidewalk. Now these sidewalks needed restructuring anyway. So we're going to raise these up and out. I think we're going to be better off with a curb on the side here, like these. Yeah, then it has a purpose of why it's higher than the rest. I think that's a tad too big though. Do we not have a smaller piece here? No, they're just as big. Right, that is a tad too high, so we'll lower that down. That's it. So we'll work with what we have here, because we've got enough space here to build quite a bit of real estate. So let me clamp this on. If a little bit of dirt shows through, I'm not too worried. Right. This is just to give some indication of spacing. This isn't going to be a permanent fixture, by the way. Okay. Now, retaining wall, full walls. Do these snap to those? No. Oh, they do. Okay. Okay, they just snap high up. Okay. Now that is obviously far too high for what we want, but that's fine. Gives us a base to move it into position, like so. We're going to lower it down to about the same height as those ones over there, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bricks. There's 7. These curbs are too high. That's what we want. Oh, excuse me. It's not my day today in terms of little snags like that. Nice. So we still have that grass to separate, and that's 7 bricks. Like that. Excellent. Now, do we have the wall without the little grate at the bottom? I mean, we have the short pieces, short walls. Let's extend that out so we know what we're dealing with here. Right, so we might have to use this short piece here. What does that look like? So that they've got corner pieces. Well, actually, I think that's a U-shaped piece. Oh no, that is two corners overlapped. Didn't know that. Can I do a corner piece like that? Okay, that's fine. Now we put in a post to match the architecture here. Put in the pillar. Yep, so only a small bit of it juts up at the top, like that. Now steps. We want some steps up to this new tier of living. Yeah, these stairs don't even match, to be honest. Okay. Doesn't massively match up with this sidewalk. Nope. That does. Yes, you can step straight up onto the top here. That's good. We could also do the same here. So let's remove that. We will place another sidewalk curb in here as an X junction instead. So I told you we can tear this out, replace it with an X junction, and then go back to retaining walls and put in some more steps up here. Now, this does actually overlap by a little margin, so that is not to say we couldn't bring that out ourselves. Okay. That doesn't match because there's a gap here. That does. Right, so it's a tad off. It's going to be a tad off, but I've been told the enemy of perfection is myself. So, yeah, bring it down in line with the stairs. Brilliant. And now we have this beautiful space there to work with. I think two homes could go here quite easily. So let's finish the retaining wall. We go full walls. Bring it down to there. Yeah, the height matches up perfectly with that. Actually, why am I doing that? I need another corner piece, don't I? Think it's going to be a manual job here. I think it is. Right. Let's bring it down into the soil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks. Yeah, so we need absolutely no trace of that stone on the bottom. Let's bring it in line with the sidewalk. You can't really tell if it's in line over here, so we're kind of going blind. But that now matches up. Let's use a placeholder piece. I'm just going to put this in to get the height, an idea of the height here. Okay, I'm quite satisfied that the left and right are correct heights. And now we put in another corner like that. And I think that blends pretty magically. This then leaves the path free to back onto here, down the side of the tiered living. Just thinking how I'm going to accomplish that. Okay, this is going to be awkward because I don't have walls shorter than this, I don't think. No, we don't. Okay. This is where it all falls down, isn't it? It's getting the spacing correct on this side. And if I make it smaller, it's just going to look really, really dumb. I mean, that's already encroaching. Those just don't work. I'll tell you what, let's put the sidewalk in first and actually see what we're working with here. So the sidewalk would continue forwards like that. It would need to arch upwards though. So we're going to do the same trick as what we did before, which is 10 units, then 10 units, which we'll break off with a curb. Safe to say we don't need that now. Okay, that is a comfortable climb. See, all of this is all hard-coded. There's nothing I can do about that. This isn't going to work. That is not going to work. But I can probably find a way to make it work. We need a way to clear this stack so we don't go anywhere near it. The best way I can think of doing that right at this point is to get a retaining wall, one of our sweet corners. No, I don't want a round one. I want one of these beautiful corners. Okay, so I'm going to snap it to there, and then I'm going to move it. Okay, it actually snapped in the correct direction. That's unusual. Okay, 5 more units. Probably 2. Yeah. That's fine. Now if I take this and I rotate it like that, we make a small junction there. Okay, this is where it's either a roaring success or it's a massive failure. So we're going to replace this with an X junction. We're going to remove this curb and this curb because it's no longer needed. It's redundant. We're going to put a half sidewalk in here. 1/2 sidewalk in here. Then we're going to put 2 corners. 1 here and 1 here. Okay, that kind of looks dumb already, but not much I can do about it. I mean, I can put a curb in there and blend it. That's fine. Retaining wall, miscellaneous. Let's put another planter here. Yeah, that diminishes a little bit of the space that I wanted to use, but I don't hate it. That's the thing. I don't hate it. Back to sidewalks. We'll put a Y junction in. This is going to annoy me, isn't it? That's it. Then we can make the path. We can make a really long path, actually. Let's delete this, because that's also now redundant. I'm going to have trouble with this, aren't I? This is going to give me grief. What is it snapping to under there? Ah, the road. Don't need that road now. This is literally snapping to everything but the bit I want again. Right, brute force. Yeah, I think you'll find you will go in the place that I want you to. I think you'll find. What are you snapping to now? A piece of sidewalk. Let's move that out of the way. Okay, that's kind of how I'm looking at it here. The bonus for that is we don't lose any real estate doing this either, because all we would do is just expand the size of the tiered living up the top. So we'll just do the same trick as what that place down there has used. We'll just blend the 2 corners together so that it's barely recognisable. I mean, that actually does look a little bit dumb. Like that. Now we put the sidewalk in and we complete the sidewalk. Have we got a corner piece for sidewalks? Or I'm sure we do. I mean, we've got a rounded piece, we just don't have a square corner. No. With the driveway. I have a feeling that could be useful for somewhere around here. Yeah, so we don't have a square corner. At least not in the curb pieces, anyway. Seems everybody wants to text me as soon as I record. It's a thing. It's definitely a thing. Okay, now can we position that in there? I'll use the classic phrase again. I'll have to do it manually. mean, to be fair, I've gotten quite lucky this episode. Normally, snapping is the bane of my existence. Okay, let's see if I can do this, if I can pull this off. Yeah, so level it off like that. And that's pretty much the perfect size. So we're creating another set of tiered living, a bit like here, which is great. We're getting there. Another swig of coffee. Gorgeous. So I'll put a post in here, like so. Excellent. Now let's just take a bit more inspiration from back here. Okay, so the ground is ever so slightly lower, and it elevates alongside the wall, but it's pretty flush. It's pretty flush and pretty even. I don't know how far back. I mean, I might as well take it right the way to the settlement border, so I'm not worried too much about that. Park grass. Yeah, we want the nice lush green grass. No, don't want the slope. Okay, and now we very carefully add the terrain. Just got to make sure none of that sticks through, which it doesn't, at least not yet. Again, these can always be replaced or placed on top of. That is, that's cool how that is almost perfect. Almost. Not quite, but almost perfect. Okay, so if I go to here, I've got enough space to put down a retaining wall at the back. A tree cluster can get out of here. Just as I suspected. Yeah, because we put it down manually, there's going to be an ever so slight small discrepancy there. Which isn't the end of the world. We can always fix it. I wonder, instead of putting a retaining wall at the back and making it look super artificial, why don't I just extend this rock face? That also then cuts off a way that the settlement can be attacked. Where would I find that? Outer edges, no. Sidewalks, no. Oh, where would I find it? I think that's under Homemaker, isn't it? Rocks, that's what we're looking for. Oh my god, that's absolutely enormous. Now, I've used these already. Are these a particular type? Because I know some of these are selectable. Okay, a lot of this is hard-coded. But we do have rocks. Okay, let's just take a risk here. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Careful now. I'm on the wrong axis. That's the axis I want. The thing is, you can't place it there, but you can push it. I can push it. Let me just switch the time off. Timeout off here. Right. What does that look like from here? Okay, so the rocks are a tad off colour, but that is fine. And to be fair, there is literally nothing here. This is completely barren. So it's not like I'm going to be covering all of the terrain and, you know, good stuff. I mean, okay, we're going to have to delete a few of those tree clusters, but sacrifices must be made. Okay, so let's try and, I say vary this up. It's not so much varying up. Oh my god, these are going to be a nightmare to finagle, aren't they? But it's going to be worth it. It'll be worth it. Okay, having it slightly encroaching is a good thing, actually. That is actually a good thing, doing that. I mean, this part here eats into the living space a tad, so let's rotate it to get a kind of flatter approach. I mean, I could put another rock here to cover that, that's fine. This is about as flat as I want it. Because my issue with a settlement this open is that I'd have to defend from multiple sides if it gets attacked and stuff like that. Not with these. These are a natural barrier. Natural barriers are probably one of the easiest ways to just... I don't want to say cop out because it's not really copping out, but it's better than building an artificial wall across the back, isn't it? Really, if you think about it. Let's oh. Kind of worried what I disabled there. That's it. Tree cluster. Disable those. I think this one is going to have to be disabled too. Wait a second. I just disabled the barrier. I just disabled the big barrier, so now I don't actually know where the barrier is. Oh my god. Oh good, it does come back. I was worried I'd completely disabled the barrier here. Okay. Okay, so we need to sprinkle in some rocks here to fill the barrier in, as it were. No, don't need rocks that big. That's it. Oh, that's a little bit too low down, that. That's fine. That looks to me... That looks quite normal to me. So you've got all this natural barrier back here, which is nice. Very nice. This part here needs filling with something. It's a bit too small for that, so... Cheers. This is going to need some filling in. These cliffs, I think, are going to be way too big just for this small section. So what I'm going to do instead is place some boulders. Or actually, just these really big rocks. Oh, number lock. Accidentally fat-fingered number lock. Easily done. As well, this isn't actually limiting my build area either. Excuse me. Because we're basically building it on the area, so on the border even. Yeah, that looks quite natural, I think. I mean, that looks a tad too flat, but it's not like I can't even this out, is it? Let's just do some of that now. See, I knew I kept a stash of concrete for a reason. This is the reason. Making man-made rock walls on the edges of settlements. That's what it was for. Excellent. Now, where was I? Snappy builds. Landscaping. So that actually was kind of urgent there. Right. We'll put this along here, this along here, and that meets the wall nicely. We will put in a post just there. Could I just... Evidently not. Okay. Could I just bring this in and ever so slightly lower the amount of living space we have? But it would mean I don't have to mess with the terrain constantly. Yes, we can. Yes, we damn well can. That's it. This curb piece is not needed at that point. I can put some planters in this gap actually, so I'm okay with that. That's fine. That is fine. I can deal with that. Right, so we have tiered living. Excellent. Okay, this kind of shows through. I get the feeling it's because it's not been put in straight. Okay, that works. So I'll put in a full wall, then one more full wall. Okay, I know why this is happening. Just very gently push that back, and then we'll push this back by one more. That's it. We might have to do the 0.1 trick up here if we have a couple of glitches. Okay, so we still have a bit of an issue here. That's not a problem though, I can fix that. Cool. So yeah, if we rotate this, like if I rebuild this house rotated, that is, and place that here, I would probably lop the sunroom off in that instance because you'd be looking literally at a wall. So I might lop the sunroom off, move that over here, save a bit of space, and then we could probably build 2 more houses in this row. So you could have 3 houses here by the wall, probably 2 or 3 houses up here, probably 2 big or 3 small, and then this can have 2 houses. That could easily fit another one if we lock the sunroom off that. Another house here, so we could have 6 here, 3 there. So we could have 9 houses if they bed down, let's say 3 people each. That's 27 extra villagers, settlers even. Then I could refurb these 2, maybe put an extra story on this one, and that would bed down probably another, I'm going to say 5. This house here can be built up to a 2nd story and probably have like a flying area. Well, I mean, in my business we call them flying freeholds, but have a flying freehold, so like a room suspended on columns over there. That could probably bed down another 4 villagers. This store could be another floor high, and that could bed down someone else. All these ideas. This house here, I still don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm kind of in 2 minds of what to do with it. Because the problem with this as well is you do actually get quite a lot of graphical tearing. I think that's where I've destroyed the what did we call it? Pre-combines. That's the word, pre-combines. We took out a few of the pre-combines, so I think it's causing some graphical glitches where I'm looking through them. But hey, not an issue at the moment. That is an issue for another episode. But the point is, this district here could easily bed down probably 40 settlers in this residential. We just got to make it look even nicer. So let's go back to Maker. Decorations, landscaping. Excuse me. I'm going to put down some foliage. Now we do actually have some evergreens, I believe, in here. Let's put these down as they were intended. That's it. Evergreen reminds me of that. Guys, the guys in Britain will know this, but it's an advert that was, "Oh, cheer up, Evergreen makes it lush and green." It's the easy peasy way to get the lawn of your dreams. That's it. There's an Evergreen lawn care advert. It's one of the silliest things on TV at the time. Then the mascot was just like a frog. Not too dissimilar to Crazy Frog, actually. How did I do it on the other end? How did I do it over here? So, okay, so I put one planter with the evergreens, one with rose bushes, one with evergreen. Okay, so I did it alternating. That makes sense. I don't want to. Don't want to swamp the place. So starting on this end, we'll go evergreen, 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 and evergreen. Perfect. Now foliage. Now I am actually going to sink these down a little bit because I do think they get in the way. Da, da, da. To be fair, I've never actually seen white roses, so I'm sure they exist. I've just never seen them. I did get my girlfriend a absolutely beautiful light up rose. Actually, you don't get light up roses in this game, though, unfortunately. That's it. The urban garden project is getting quite far now. The one thing that does annoy me, though, the evergreen doesn't move. The flowers do, the evergreens don't. You'd think they would get affected by the wind just like all the others, but you don't. Damn you, tree. Right. Quick ear scratch, and while it is still night time, let's sort out the lights. So we have the street lamps. Let's move them off the grass. Like that. And let's put in some new ones. So we're going to place them opposite. Yeah, so have one opposite, which should be facing. That's a little bit wonky, I think. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Then we'll place another one over this side. This is the one that's actually wonky. This one needs to come back a few inches. Okay, and now we put one on this side of the street. Don't think I've got long before sunrise, so I best sort this out quickly. Okay, yeah, I don't have mine on. So this, I think, needs to be on this corner. Cool. This part here is a bit too dark, so we will include a street lamp here. Oh, that's going to be quite a tricky placement. It's going to have to be embedded in this planter here. Oh. Okay, actually no, let's put it here. I mean, this house is going to get rebuilt anyway, so that is not too much of a worry. That's it. I'm not too worried about over here at the moment because we are not building on that just yet. And now we need these residential streetlights. Now the residential ones are a softer, more yellow glow. So I'll put a couple of them up here. That's already well lit up. Back here will be built on, so we're going to put some more yellow lights there. And this can wait. We've got some street lights there already. That is fine. So that is our urban garden expansion. Yeah, I'm not really into the practice of firing a gun up in the air and going, ah, but there you go. That is my Fallout equivalent. Now, we just have some finishing touches to do. That looks very, very ugly. Damn, that will have to be sorted out. Right, so we have the finishing touches to do, which is decorations. Also, excuse me, snappy builds. Now, was it the residential kit that had the stairs? No, I think it must have been commercial. Base, that's it. So we separate the grass a little bit here. That's going to have to be done manually. Like that. And now we're just going to fill the landscaping in just enough. Just while that's happening. Bloody hell, sounds like a proper war going on this time. That's it. We'll just put the grass in there just to fill that out. I mean, that's still there. I mean, this is part of the architecture. This stuff is staying. This is a natural part of the settlement. But yeah, that is Urban Gardens number 2. Let's put in some foundation edges. I think I'd actually have to build a bit closer to this to determine whether these will be a good fit. Problem is, you don't really just have just concrete, do you? No, you don't just have a round concrete planter, which is a bit of an irritation, but nothing I can do about that. Right, I think this is an opportune time to call it quits. Let me just go and see what actually happened up here. Did sound like a proper war. Couldn't be over here, could it? Oh, hello. That looks like a behemoth. It's a good thing I'm like level 170. Oh no, it's a deathclaw. Was a deathclaw. Ooh, thanks for the fusion quartz. Right, let's see what this stupid thing was. I do love how lit up that is now. It's starting to look like a really nice place. There's a mythic one. See how high of a level I am? I can literally mint a mythic Deathclaw with 2 rounds of an FAL. That being said, he did take an absolute battering from that sentry bot, so he could have been weaker. The fact I'm so highly leveled I can shoot down practically everything with a touch of my hand is amazing. Ooh. That's not good. This part of the settlement, as you can see, has the biggest frame rate drops as soon as I look towards the town square. But yeah, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you've watched all the way to the end of the video, just know you're an absolute legend. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you very much for, well, once again, for over 200 subscribers. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. Show me some love and I'll show you some myself. And yeah, take care, peace out, stay safe, and see you again next time. Laters.